Kia ora guys, it's George, it's Shredded Every Day, and today we're talking about macro ratios. What are macro ratios? Macros are simply your carbohydrates, your fats and your protein. In this video I'm going to tell you exactly what your macros are so that you, now you have your calories, can make sure you're eating the right kind of calories to make sure you get towards your goals. Macros are going to be perfect for you because there's no such thing as the perfect magical macro ratio that will make you eliminate fat. No macro ratio that will override the law of calorie balance. If you're eating more calories than you're burning, you're still going to put on weight, I'm afraid. At the same time, there's no macro ratio that's going to stop you from going into starvation mode if your calories are too low. No macro ratio that will work for everyone. It depends on your weight, your body type, your carbohydrate sensitivity, and the particular goals that you're going for. So let's work them out for you. Firstly, we're going to set a baseline macro ratio that works for people who are trying to burn fat and gain muscle. And then we're going to make adjustments for those depending on your body type and your goal. Protein. Protein's really important because it's the building block of muscle. And when you go to the gym, you're tearing down muscle and you need plenty of protein to rebuild it, to gain muscle and hold on to the muscle when you're burning fat. So the basic rule for protein is that you have at least 1.2 grams of protein for every 1 pound of body weight that you are right now. When it comes to fat, you need to have at least 0.4 grams of fat per pound of body weight that you are. Fat's really important for helping your digestive ability, keeping your hormones in check and making sure everything's running well. And for carbohydrates, it's the rest. So if you're putting on weight, you're going to have a lot of carbohydrates because you're going to have a lot of calories left over. If you're burning fat and you're reducing your calories, there's not going to be many calories left for carbohydrates. That's the name of the game. The main priorities are protein and fat, and then all the rest just comes from calories. So let's work out an example. Let's do me. I'm 70 kilos-ish and I'm trying to lose body fat. So I'm going to be on a calorie target of 1900 calories a day. I need 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So times 1.2 by 70 by 2.2 to convert it into pounds, and I get 185 grams of protein a day. Next we're on to fat. So 0.4 grams of fat per pound of body weight. 70 kilos times that by 2.2 times 0.4 and we get 62 grams of fat per day. Now all the rest is going to come from carbs. Here's where the tricky bit comes in. In every gram of protein there's 4 calories. So we get 185 grams of protein, times that by 4, that gives us 740 calories worth of protein that we've already had in our diet. Next we've got 62 grams of fat. There are 9 calories in every gram of fat because fat is very calorie dense. So we times 62 by 9 and we get 568 calories of fat. So 1900 calories available, take away 740 calories worth of protein, and then take away 568 calories worth of fat. And that gives us 592 calories available for carbohydrates. There are 4 calories in every gram of carbs, so we divide 592 by 4 to give us the amount of grams available for carbohydrates. And that gives us 148 grams of carbs per day. So for me, my macros are 185 grams of protein, 62 grams of fat, and 148 grams of carbs. And these can vary a little bit, so I can vary these by 10 or so grams of each per day, as long as the total calories is around 1900 plus or minus 50 or so, and the grams for each is around that number. Now let's make some adjustments for your body type. If you're an ectomorph, i.e. you're a skinny person who has a fast metabolism and has trouble putting on size, very easy to stay lean, then you could afford to have a bit more carbohydrates in your diet. You could probably reduce your protein intake to 1 gram per pound of body weight, and that will allow you to have more carbohydrates in your diet because you really don't need carbohydrate restriction. If you're an endomorph or you're a bit carbohydrate sensitive, then you could increase your protein intake to say 1.3, 1.4, maybe even 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Keep your fats the same at 0.4 per pound of body weight, and that will give you less carbohydrates available left over. And that will mean you're running on a lower carbohydrate diet, which means there'll be less insulin response from less carbohydrates, keeping the body fat coming down for the endomorphs out there. Okay, here are some warnings. If you reduce your carbohydrate down too much, you're going to get a fair few cravings your energy levels are going to go right down. You're going to get tired and you're going to get a bit of loss of concentration. So don't reduce your carbohydrates too much. If you try and reduce fat too much, you're going to have a lot of hormonal changes. It's going to be a lot more difficult in terms of hunger for you, and the hormonal imbalances are going to make life a bit difficult as well. So the moral of the story is to never go to extremes, never go too low on either protein, carbohydrate or fat. Always have a good balance of all of them. So never try these keto diets, never try eliminating carbohydrates or eliminating fat, never try these crazy juice diets. I'll probably do a video on that another time. Just keep everything nice and balanced. The name of the game with all fitness is there's no one way to do anything, but everything needs to be balanced. Finally, for some of you guys who have different goals, maybe say you're an endurance athlete, you're going to need more carbohydrates in your diet. Protein's not much of a problem. If you're going for strength training, then you may need a bit more protein. So it's all different through all the time. If you've got questions about macros for your particular goals that I haven't talked about here, send me a message and I'll get them worked out for you so it's perfect for you and what you're going for. So that's it. Over the last few videos, we've done why calories are important, what calories you need, the calories for your goals, and how to track them. Now you know your macros. In the next few videos, we're going to talk about macros a little more. We're going to break down what proteins are, carbohydrates and fats, and how they work in your body and how they're important. So check them out, they're really good and you're going to learn a lot from them. This video a like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll check you next time for the next video. See you guys. Macro you must track. There is nothing you can lack. You have the calories and snap, you've met your goal.